Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Adventures in Arcane Space. Once again, I am your Dungeon Master, AuldDragon, and the players are...
Hi, I'm David Big Mac Shepherd. I play Braxon, who's a human fighter from an asteroid close to Brow, and the first officer.
Hi, I'm Daikami-sama, and I play as Solas Ebha, who is half-elven cleric mage of Ogma.
I'm James. I play Ockar, human paladin from Brawl.
Hello everyone, I'm Salen Mortar. I play Finnel'ar Mohani, a druid from Greyspace.
Hello, I'm Levalithana, an elven wild mage.
Hello, I'm Zach, and I play the character of Lafdul Mingley, the elf from Realm Space. He is a mischiefmaker thief, and his silly title for today is the slinky secret scantilating scandalous scallywag of the saintly silly sucker sect. Oh god, that was hard. But it's a fun one. I actually really enjoyed that one.
Yeah. You admit it's a silly title, though.
I think I only got like half of those words.
I'll type it in on Twitch and on Roll20 while adjusting my headsets. Oh, this is annoying me. I got a headset problem.
Linky, so you mean like those...
I think I said silly instead of slinky.
those things that are basically...
A spring that walks downstairs, yes.
Yeah, spring that, yeah.
Oh, springs.
So, according to this, if you're the slinky, secret, scintillating, scandalous scallywag of the saintly, silly Sakura sect, we need a write-up for the saintly, silly Sakura sect.
Oh, write-ups. Something like that, I suppose.
Yeah, like for Patreon backers only, maybe.
So we left off last session. Party had done some magic item identification and stuff of that sort. And they have not left the Dwarven Citadel or their own asteroid yet, in part because they have not taken out the artifact from the Artifurnace, so they will need to do that. And do some other things. Do you guys want to start with getting the artifact out, or do you want that to be literally the very last thing that you do before leaving?
Probably the last thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the longer it's out, wow.
Well, we're already at the destination. I don't think we need to move the station anymore.
Yeah, if they're happy with it.
Yeah, well, it's whether they consent to us taking it.
Well, they do, I guess. I don't know.
I believe they already said that. They consented that.
Fair enough. Right. So here's a question. Can we put that deck of cards in the Artifurnace?
I mean, you could try.
They seem quite powerful. That might be a way to deal with them.
And you also wanted to destroy that trident, too.
Yeah.
Do we know if our furnaces just consume items? Like a regular...
They don't consume normal items, but your
Do
spells...
they drain?
The thing that you
properties?
would know about
Like
artifurnaces is that they're extremely rare and they are powered by artifacts. Otherwise, everything else that you have heard is contradictory rumor and hearsay.
Yeah.
So you've heard, oh yeah, of course, they destroy the artifacts. Oh, no, of course they don't destroy the artifacts.
So if I turn this Braxon into a statue, because he was born with a mark on his thigh, so he's like sacred to his deity, would he be like an artifact? We just power the artifact with Braxon.
I don't think Braxon's tattoo has any magical properties.
How about this?
If you're sacred
you don't
to your
know.
deity.
You'd have to try it.
Well,
do you want to try it?
We've already
Wouldn't be a
tried
good
the
hack.
we've already tried the experiments of making Braxon older and making his clothes vanish.
Well, that was successful.
Yeah.
It was
So
all
surely if 2 experiments are successful, the third one will be too, right?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
I mean, there's no reason to doubt that logic.
Right.
I think with the trident it was talked that the lizard folk were going to be doing the destroying ceremony and we were going to participate
Yeah.
and help in it.
Yeah, I'm wondering if I was wondering if we wanted to have a chat with the trident and ask it to repent its ways and convert to the other religion. Oh yeah, I was going to ask Joyun.
Oh, it's
What
Well,
the
then
covenant
to-
and
Oh,
change ways?
Joyun is a clever magical item.
We did have quite a long discussion with the lizard folk already on that subject,
All right, so we're just going to smash it up.
and the lizard folk were quite intent on destroying the item.
Yeah, we asked Joyun, how do we destroy you? Come on. So we can destroy the
No,
trident. It's for good cause. Lafdul won't abuse that when she inevitably leaves.
No. What I was going to ask Joyun is would it be possible for us to get a magical item to repent its ways and change to do something else?
I mean, since it's sentient, it would basically require the same thing as you would require to be converted to another faith and such.
Yeah.
And I don't think Joyun would actually respond to a question of that nature.
Oh, okay.
I wonder if stuff like memory read works somehow. If she's actually considered a creature or an object. Once the personality's been imbued into an item, I'd assume it's a creature.
You'd have to try it.
I think we could start with the destruction of the trident.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like-
okay.
I could actually cast Mind Read just to see if I get surface faults on the trident
Do
wanna
we
do
remember
something?
what
or the Joyun.
one thing I'm thinking about that trident is, can it attack people that are trying to destroy it?
Don't give Lafdul ideas.
Well, the reason why I'm asking is if we get a load of lizard people trying to destroy it and then it starts shooting people with magical beams or something.
You cast protection from
we
evil.
didn't witness any that kind of power with it.
We did with
Yeah.
the dagger though, and that was significantly weaker. The shadow got exploded.
Yeah.
Didn't something happen?
Okay, well,
Did we
let me
have to
put it
fight
this.
shadow?
Let me put it this way: you people that are good with spells, you can use dispel magic on items, can't you? And does it temporarily make them go to sleep or something?
No.
Temporarily makes them inert.
Right.
Inoperable.
So for how long?
Not very long.
Well,
Like a turn or less.
right.
10 minutes
Okay.
or less.
Well, do you have any spells like that prepared in case it starts attacking all the lizard people and killing them?
Well, at this point, I
Ooh.
mean, I'm perfectly fine with you choosing spells that you take. I mean, like, I was about to ask, when you guys finish your discussion, are there any special preparations that you want to take, which would include choosing to memorize some extra spells?
And protection from evil 10 feet radius and
Actually, out of curiosity, is that art furnace? Is it completely sealed up, or can things be shoved inside of it? I kind of tried to be put in. I'm just wondering if I cast Augury before putting it in there, seeing what would happen.
I don't think anyone looked at it closely enough to know for sure. But the space that the artifact is inside is not big enough for a trident.
the space for the artifact was basically just enough for the Siri crystal.
Can reduce be cast on items?
A door
Well,
that is
make
stuck,
a-
you can cast Reduce on, and it may become unstuck. Or a door that is not stuck, you can cast
Yeah,
Enlarge
that's-
on it, and it will become stuck.
But
Come on,
wouldn't
Old.
the
We've played this
magic
for 3
item,
years.
resist it?
We're never doing that. Clever.
I'm just
use of
saying.
spell.
It's literally one of the examples in the spell description, so yeah, it can be cast on objects.
Yeah,
That's my
but we
point.
don't read our spell descriptions.
Apparently not.
Certain fireball blowing us up at one point. Fried
yeah,
arrows everywhere.
I will prepare protection from evil 10 feet radius.
Okay.
Oh, maybe I should prepare protection from good 10-foot radius.
I
Just be
mean, you
awkward.
could. That's up to
I've only-
you.
I've only got 2 vials of unholy water, actually.
Do you have unholy water?
Yeah, I got 2 vials of it. I bought off of Thieves Guild.
Right, can anyone remember what that trident did to us? Or tried to do to us?
Tried poking us.
Poking us mostly.
Provoking us?
Poking.
Poking us? Okay, right.
When it
okay.
was held by the Lizard King.
Yeah, but it didn't cast any spells or anything.
Not that I remember.
Okay.
Hey, Lever. You can polymorph, can't you?
I'm sorry?
You can polymorph, can't you? I'm just wondering what would happen in a hypothetical situation if you were polymorphed into a Lizard King and you held a trident with protection from evil. What if you could use it? You know, I mean, we're going to destroy the trident, but I'm just thinking hypothetically.
But don't forget, I don't get all the nice, good stuff that the new form does have.
No, but it's about tricking the wielder. No, trident.
How much damage did that thing do to the last person who tried to pick it up?
I'd assume protection from evil would. Actually, I don't
Yeah,
know, because
I
you're
don't
breaking a
remember.
barrier. Because you're
Did
forcing it.
did that trident actually attack any one of us? We just
No.
found
It
out
just
that it was
hurts.
evil, and it tried to communicate with the wielder.
I thought it hurt Ockar or someone.
It hurt everyone, even me, so now a different alignment. Well, I suppose it would hurt Finnel'ar as well.
So no other special protections besides protection from evil 10-foot radius?
Well, Lever's going to go for Dispel Magic.
Okay.
I also prepare a couple of negative plane protections.
Okay.
Have we
I
got
could do that as well, I suppose.
have Braxon and Ockar got any special tools for smashing things up?
Not for smashing things.
Anyone got scrolls of Dispel Evil? Because that usually I got Dispel Good. Not the evil, though.
Not really.
I'd assume the Wizards might have, because I'm pretty sure Solas doesn't have a priest one.
Well,
Anyone got anything for rusty metal or anything?
Dispel
Lever
evil
has-
is pre-spell only.
Is it?
Mhm.
Wizards get it as well.
Lever has a scroll with protection from evil.
Yeah,
I
but
thought-
we got that.
Okay, so what other preparations? You just the dispel magic and negative plane protection and protection from evil 10-foot radius.
Ah, silly question.
Mm-hmm.
What if I could trick this trident into allowing me to become its new master?
Well, you would have to
actually,
try it. Just asking question will most likely result into.
no,
You
this
don't
this
know.
opens up a whole can of worms. I don't think the party's ready to.
Well, who is going to touch the trident?
I can raise it in my ring,
I can.
so no one has to.
Lever can use stone skin on the person.
You're not being physically harmed. You still trip over. You still get hurt. I think.
Old?
Just falling over.
Well, it wouldn't hurt to
classes an
have.
attack.
It wouldn't hurt to have a spell that doesn't do anything.
It's true.
What?
It wouldn't. If it doesn't do anything, it doesn't hurt. But I mean,
Then I don't need to spend time memorizing it.
You can have it prepared. How long does it take to cast? It's a round, isn't it?
Stone skin? No, it's
Yeah, it's
super
up to a
fast.
round.
No, it's super fast. It's like casting time 1 or something.
Yeah,
Just
but it's still cast
yes.
within a round as far as
Yeah.
initiative goes.
It's casting time 1.
Yeah.
Is it? Oh snap! I'm about to get mellowed.
So remember what Stone Skin does. It just basically prevents injury from cutting or blows.
Cut, blow, projectile, or the like.
Braxton's going to be wearing his
But-
ironstone. Sorry, go on.
Even a sword of sharpness cannot affect a creature protected by stone skin.
That's
Nor
good
can
to
a
know.
rock hurled by a giant, a snake strike, etc.
Yeah,
So
but
if the trident tries to attack with a physical attack, that could actually be, you could be protected. We have 94 stone skins left.
We got that much gem dust. I thought it was only diamond dust.
I had misremembered something that it was 1,000 gold pieces, but it's actually only 100. So, when you bought it, you were spending it as 1,000, and then it just got
so you
revised down
resend it
to
then.
So basically, it got multiplied by 10.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
It was quite expensive.
Anyway, it went from 10 to 100.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Sorry, I'm just my headset's going to be a bit quiet for a bit.
All right, so Solas, you cast protection from evil, 10-foot radius, and negative plane
Yeah.
protection. That's what you want to do when you're ready. All right.
yeah,
I will have some negative plane protections. Well, between us, we'll have enough for the party.
Okay.
I will actually. How many third level spells?
So real fast, had you guys given this over to Axis to hold on to until this, or were you still holding on to it?
the trident was still in our
It's on our hold because
Hold.
we don't know if it corrupts the Zidman.
I mean, she would have been absolutely happy enough to take it from you if you had wanted her to.
well, we didn't actually talk about that.
Well, I understand.
Yeah, we didn't sort that
To a
out.
certain extent, this is going to be a little bit of a hand-wavy retcon.
Well, Solas is okay handing it over to them if they want to hold up until it's destroyed.
Okay, she would have asked for it. It's more of I guess it's more of a question. I'll say is,
Oh,
would you guys have refused that and said no? We think it's safer if we hold on to it until the time, or would you have said yeah, it's fine for you to hold on to it?
If she asked for it, we'd have given it to her.
sorry. There's one spell I might think about taking as Subjure, but I can't remember if we knew its name.
All right.
If
Well,
he's
never-
taking protection from evil, I'll take Subjure, but
Lever will also memorize a reduce.
Okay.
I
And
need to
Finn
check
will
Subjure.
memorize a choose future.
All right.
Hmm.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
Okay,
someone
so Axis sends one of her acolytes to you to fetch you when she has made her preparations. The acolyte says, "Mistress Axis is prepared now. If you would come with us, we are prepared to perform the ritual to destroy this foul artifact."
Oh, Old, I will cast Augury, obviously, before this happens. I've taken 3 negative plane protections, and I'm taking 1 Dispel Magic.
Alright.
So
I
you
have
spread them
two-
ex-
I have 2 negative plane protections.
I mean, so like you can get there and say, we have some spells that we want to cast
Yeah,
first to aid us.
yeah, I'm casting them when we get there.
All right. So and that includes the
Braxon.
augury.
the Augury was just before the ritual starts, basically.
Right. So because you wouldn't necessarily know when the acolyte would come to get
Yeah.
you. All right. What is your
Right.
percentage chance for success?
For Augury,
Yeah.
77.
All right, Braxon. What were you saying?
Braxton thanks the acolyte because nobody else remembered to.
Oh yeah, we thank the Acolyte, because, yeah, we're a bunch of scallywags, aren't we? No manners.
All right. What exactly are you asking? I should say first. The augury.
Will there be great harm to us upon destroying this trident?
The augury indicates that the outcome looks pretty good for you.
Alright. I relay that to my party.
So Axis has turned the one of the old dwarven temples on the Citadel on the second level into a temple of to Semwanya, her deity. And in the center of the chamber is a large stone block of stone that they've salvaged from somewhere else. It's been dressed slightly so that it's not rough, broken off, or anything like that. And one of her other acolytes is using very large tongs to hold the trident without actually touching it. And so you arrive, you cast your augury, and then get ready to cast your other spells while she kind of tells you what she plans to do.
I would even lend my ring a telekinesis if they want.
They're fine with using tongs.
Yeah.
That's no direct contact is being made with that, so it's safe. She welcomes you into the chamber and says, "The first step is that I shall be casting some spells to hold in the evil when we destroy this. It should keep it. Should any backlash or any magic come forth from it, it should contain it to a narrow area around this foul thing."
Is this fluff, or can I run spellcraft on these spells?
It's mostly fluff.
I basically say to Axis that I will be also casting protection from evil in here.
Yeah, I will cast negative, because they last basically an hour for me and Solas, so...
Yeah.
I will cast... I've got 3, you got 5, so one person's probably not going to have it.
That is good. Thank you for your aid here. What I will ask is you follow the chants that my acolytes perform as an aid once we get ready. And that should help strengthen the magic.
That isn't against our religion, is it? To help another religion in
No.
a general dispelling? No. Right. It's just priests or something.
I mean, it's
Right, that's
like
fine.
generally that only but generally that would
cooperative
only
spells.
that would only apply if your deity is opposed to their deity or your priesthood is opposed to their priesthood. If you're neutral to them, then no, there's no harm in that.
Braxon quite often helps people of other religions. That always goes well.
Yeah, because you think everything's beneath you.
And
Your
also,
religion.
I should say that, especially in the case of doing something that your deity would approve of, you can also, in those cases, help out a faith that you may not be on good terms with as well.
Yeah.
So.
Well, they were... Who the spirit belonged to, I'm opposed against, because they're generally bad, I guess, for lack of a better word.
Alright, so, let's see. Is every member of the party coming? Higamus will come.
Braxon's come.
Yeah,
Finn will be there.
Ockar?
If I'm chanting, I guess my concentration's going to be taken.
Oh, Lever also asks who wants the stone skin?
It's probably best if you decide who you're casting it on. Especially in this situation.
Taxus.
I want to
If
know
anyone.
who?
Probably in Taxus, considering she's the main person casting the spells. She's one of most of danger.
Okay, yes, I cast it on her.
Can you not hear me?
Yeah, you're pretty
casting
robotic.
Yes.
Did it?
Yep, that's better.
That's a lot better.
Mm.
Oh, it's a shame none of us have protection from water spells.
Kind of spaced out for a bit there and didn't realize what was on until all suddenly said my name.
So, would you be coming to join the ceremony?
To destroy a magic item?
Yeah, to destroy the trident.
Sure.
Okay.
Someone should have said gauntlet to see it, just to see how it react.
Yeah. Ockar, have you got any tools for smashing up metal?
I mean, I have a hammer that's used for forging items. I'm
Would
not
that-
sure.
I think Braxon, they have prepared the necessary equipment.
Yeah. I'm just thinking if this gets out of hand, maybe me and Ockar could try and smash it up.
Ockar could absolutely bring his hammer if he wanted to. It's up to you.
He could.
Ockar.
Yeah.
I would make a suggestion to Arca, since you're like a champion of good, so to speak, that most evil hates you intrinsically, so it would have less of an effect on you than it would against most other people. I don't know, you're kind of protected against evil due to your sheer faith. I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, are you suggesting that he should bring his hammer and help participate in that
Yeah.
physical
well.
destruction?
I'm
'Cause
suggesting.
I'm
at
not
least
actually
that-
sure. I'm not actually sure what
I'm
you
a
were
bit
suggesting.
confused.
Yeah, I'm not actually sure what you were suggesting,
Okay.
Zakad.
Arca goes and offers his services as a paladin. If they know what a paladin is, or he could explain what a paladin is.
I'm
being
not
a
sure how I
bastion
can.
of good.
I'm not sure exactly how I can help.
Alright. If you don't
I
think
mean,
you can, you don't
they
have
seem to have the ritual, what they are going to use.
But if Ockar feels that
to.
it would be in his if he
Look,
feels that he
I'm
has
just
a
gonna
duty
gonna
to
let
do
them do their thing. If it doesn't work, then I'll do something.
Alright.
Okay. Braxton's gonna bring a couple of C clamps in case we want to clamp it and try and bend it.
this. Okay. All right. So let's see. Solas, 10-foot radius, protection from wheel, 10-foot radius. Who are you casting that on?
I'm casting it on the
Someone in
not the
center.
closest one to the item, but someone who is quite close to it. So it
We can
covers.
ask in taxes about the range of the spell if we can
Yeah.
accommodate that or not.
I mean, do you want to cast it on Axis herself?
Yeah, I can
near
cast it on
Axis.
Axis herself.
All right. She would accept that. All right, and then the negative plane protections.
Yeah, I'm trying to look up what the hell Jers.
I don't remember everything that Abjure does, but one of the things that it can do is send a planar thing back to its plane.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it would help or not in this case. I'm trying to look up
It
the
might.
spell. I mean, I've got it memorized.
Do
but
you want? So do you guys
I'm
want?
going to say I'm going to cast it, but I don't know the specifics of the spell.
Well, yeah. I mean, you go ahead and look that up. But do you want
Yeah.
negative plane protections on just the party members? Is that how many you'd have?
We have together 5 negative plane protections.
You're casting the
I
individually.
have 2.
I could take a few, I guess. I'll take 3. How much?
You did say earlier that you were taking 3 negative
Oh,
plane
negative.
protections.
Oh, sorry, negative plane protections. Yeah. Sorry, I thought you were on about a different spell.
All right. So who is getting them, and who? Or let me put it this way: who is not getting them?
One of us has got Marco's got the ion stone, so 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Iron Stone.
Not Ironstone,
Yeah,
but
that's-
the Scarab.
I got the
Yeah.
necklace.
Yeah, so everyone bar Arca, I guess that's 5.
Braxton's got an ironstone.
Actually, no, we got Higamus. Hmm.
Higamus will volunteer to not take it if that's an issue.
Yes. Let's get another restoration on
He's a
Higamus.
big, strong gif. He doesn't feel like he always needs that extra protections, and he's also a little bit afraid that it would just fail if you cast it on him anyway. So
Yeah.
okay,
Has he actually tried handling the trident? Maybe it'll just cease functioning when he holds it.
I think he did. Yeah. Okay. Any other
And-
spells that you want to cast in preparation? I'll
Well,
start with you.
Stoneskin can be cast in preparation.
Okay, who are you
This
casting it
thing,
on?
What's her name?
Axis?
Yes,
Okay.
if she accepts it.
She will accept that, yeah.
what are you
Okay.
casting?
Stoneskin.
Finn, do you have any spells that you want to cast in preparation, or are most of your spells like more reactionary?
My spell would be more reactionary, since it's next round when it takes effect.
I'll be
Okay.
right back.
What
But I will
about
be ready to cast it on Axis at the moment she destroys the trident.
Okay.
What about the reduce spell?
Yeah.
I mean,
Should
it's
that be in advance as preparation or
What's the casting time for a reduce?
one?
Is it just the turn you cast it, or is it longer?
No, it's just
round.
one. It's one.
So I think you can keep the reduce as a reactionary spell then, since I doubt it will make that much effect in the ritual itself.
Mm-hmm.
all right. Solas, do you have any other spells you want to cast in preparation?
I will cast Sanctuary on myself.
Okay.
Yeah, me and Solas would probably go over what spells we'd be cast. I'd probably cast Sanctuary myself as well.
All right. And then Lafdul, any other spells you want to cast on yourself, or in preparation, I should say.
Before this thing starts, resist code on myself.
Okay.
Because I know this thing has power over water. I don't want to be ice stormed, ideally.
Okay. So with that taken care of, the acolyte holding the trident lays it on the stone, and another acolyte begins to light a series of aromatic torches around it, while Axis begins chanting. It's a fairly easy chant to follow. Is everyone going to follow along and chant with her?
Yeah,
Long
Braxon will
priest.
join.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, Lafdul spears.
yeah. So Solas is chanting along and channeling his faith.
Yeah, Lafdul will be doing the
Can-
same, probably. Weirdly
Can
enough.
non-priests do that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. They will chant along.
Yeah, and before they started, Braxon would have said a quiet word to Patar and said, "Please help these lizard people to destroy this."
Yeah, Lafdul thinks about it for a split second. Is like, maybe not. Well, I don't know. Would that be a contradiction of faith if I have doubt in my deity? No, it's not necessarily I know I have doubt. It's more of a case of I know Erwin likes messing things up, but I suppose Lafdul does as well. But no, he will. He has faith in his deity. He asks for a helping hand.
Okay.
It's quite simple. Once Lefdul's watched them destroy the item, he can just throw a cast of pie at it.
Yeah.
So the chanting
Sure.
goes on for about 10 minutes before there's any additional movement from Axis, but
There goes my resist code. 7 minutes.
but then her chanting changes and takes on more of a commanding note, and it's like punctuated every few words with a force behind it. And two acolytes bring out some hammers, and after the third time that she has made a commanding statement as part of the chant, they begin smashing the trident with the hammers on the command. And you can feel in this room there is a force in this room.
Are they denouncing a name?
You're not actually sure what language they're speaking. But you would recognize from your, Solas and you and Ockar would recognize from the way that this is going is that the words tend to be they're simple words as opposed to complex words, which is one of the reasons why it's easy for you guys to follow along and chant along with it. but you don't actually know what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's very much a repetition of previous words. So there's small phrases that are being stated over and over and over again.
Denouncing it.
You would guess that that's probably what's going on.
It's like Civilization 5. It's like, you've been denounced, you've been denounced, you've been denounced.
And then you can feel a power build up, and the trident, a sound begins to come off of it. An angry wail rises up from it. And on the 10th time that Axis has punctuated her chants with this forceful phrase, and the hammers are being smashed against the trident, a loud, piercing shriek echoes through the chamber, and there is a kind of a thunderous crack as you see the trident split apart down the middle and shatter then into a dozen pieces.
Wow.
And the room just, all of a sudden, the force that was in this room just releases itself and is gone. And everyone is catching their breath. There's some, perspiration off of the some of your foreheads and stuff like that, and you're looking at the remains of this trident, and they're just pieces on the stone and on the floor around it.
Solas feels that we have done a really good service to the spheres.
Axis turns to you and says, in a tired voice, "It is done. It has been destroyed. I imagine that the spirit inhabiting it has gone on to the heretic. There's little that we could have done to prevent it, but it is better that the item is gone now and unusable by his fiendish cohorts."
Yes, it did seem to be quite an evil and powerful evil at that.
Right. Braxon bows and says, "Thank you for destroying that evil."
"Thank you for your aid. It made it much easier. Less time was required to destroy it with your aid, and I do greatly appreciate what you have provided in your faith and in your power to destroy this."
Well, we are friends, and this was evil item, so it is better to have it destroyed than be bane to all good.
So long as I and my acolytes shall live, their evil will not be among us again. And I thank you again for freeing us from it.
Lafdul thinks to himself, isn't that a contradictory statement? Because weren't they alive and evil was still afoot? They were just enslaved.
Yeah, but now she has the power.
Yeah. Power is very fickle.
Yeah, but what she is implying that if the evil wants to take the power again, they will have to kill Axis and his acolytes.
Braxon says, "We thank you for helping us to defeat the evil doers amongst your tribe who were trying to corrupt you, and for helping us with our quest."
It is a good thing that we have done today, but I must rest now. I thank you again for your aid. And she is escorted out by her acolytes. She definitely looks tired.
Yeah.
Ah, Lafdul says, "Solas, she should have had a restore fatigue spell cast on her."
I think this is the kind of fatigue that is best to rest away.
But what's magic for if we don't exploit it?
Exploit it? Ooh, wow.
Yeah, as a scholar of the arcane, I have to say, exploiting magic is not a good idea. And I think my colleague Leva will agree with this.
I would think so, yes. Anyway, just last time, when was that? Yesterday, we learned something about magic and exploiting it and abusing it.
Back.
Yes, it's a
What?
bad idea.
You mean the magic is back then?
No, I'm back. I was BRB.
Okay.
But
Braxon.
yeah, after the item has been destroyed and the ritual is over, Solas will basically inform the rest of the group that he is going to be in his quarters writing this down as a chronic of the Company of Broken Sword.
Okay.
Lafdul tries with all of his might to resist casting Mistake Missive on it.
That sounds like a good idea, Solas.
Yes, I figured that it would be a good idea to start actually writing down our deeds and accomplishments.
Lafdul doesn't want to be famous.
In the most amazing event today, Lafdul once again anchored a crow. Very strange. Anyway, so with the ritual complete, you're welcome to go where you wish. I assume you'll be waiting a day to get the artifact out, because you all do feel tired after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From a repairing the ship point of view,
Mhm.
it takes us a week to do each whole point.
Yeah.
Would it be worth us getting to the end of the week?
I think that when you're ready to leave, I'll say that enough time has passed that you and your ship's carpenter will have had an opportunity to try one more.
Okay.
Also about just to the group about destroying that deck that we've talked about. I think the best idea might be that we destroy it on the Brawl with the strongest church in there, basically having as much holy power as possible.
Yeah. All right. Well, hopefully nothing will go wrong.
Well, that's why we are going to participate in it.
Are you going to suggest doing that before going to Forge Space or after?
I'd say that it's better to destroy it as soon as possible.
Yeah. Well, Braxton said, well, my suggestion was try and destroy it in the phlogiston so it didn't hurt anyone else except us, but...
Yeah, because if it explodes, an extremely powerful item like that would be instantaneous death for all of us and our ship.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, there's risks in releasing magical powers in phlogiston.
Of course, if it explodes, that could take out the most powerful temple on Brawl, too.
Yeah, but that's not a problem.
Yeah, and that's my temple.
Well, at least we should consult them.
Is there any faith that specializes in wizardly magic on Brow?
What, like Mistra?
Yeah.
None of the... So there are a few practitioners, some followers of Mistra on Brawl, and there are a few followers of Bakab, and probably Weejas as well on Brawl. Generally immigrants from Gray Space and Realm Space.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you're looking at deities whose secondary aspects are magic, like Corellin the Rethian and stuff like that.
And the other thing I'm wondering is, would wizards be good for draining power out of magical items?
Sure, they have lots of spells to help in that regard.
Question?
Mm-hmm.
An item as powerful as the deck of cards, could that count as a creature, or is it still an object?
I mean, something is either an object or a creature. It's not based on power level.
Okay. So it's an object.
Well, I mean, it's either an object or a creature. I'm just saying that if it's one or the other, it's not because of a power level.
I think
Okay.
the term you're after is intelligent item, like Joyon, where it is still an item, but it's got a soul.
Well, I'm looking at the spell like True Name, and I wonder that one is for a creature. I wonder whether that one could be applied to something like this deck.
You would
think
probably
that-
have to do some research for that.
That might have been able to be used on the trident, since that had basically soul and name in it. Side it.
Well, it has a lot of possible results. Well, at least quite a few things are listed, and it's not guaranteed to work.
Yeah.
Silly question, Odd.
Mhm.
When I cast a gate spell, this says there's a chance for something to come through, but could that creature go back through it again? Or is it like one way?
I would have to reread the gate spell.
I'm just this is just hypothetical, but if I were to gate like a being of my deity and just ask if they could take the item for it to be destroyed or something, they step through, take the item, and bugger off back through.
Let me see. Let me take a look. Give me a second.
Yeah, the odds of me pulling that spell off is pretty dismal, though.
Duration is special, so I'm pretty sure that... Yeah, I mean, unless
Probably.
it says that it closes after the thing steps through, then yeah, it should be able to go back.
Oh, Braxon fancies going for a stroll to have a look at the art furnace to see if it's got a door in it or anything.
I wonder if this art furnace could be powered by the deck of many things. It just starts having the effects just randomly start applying to a ship.
Yeah, but that's what I was wondering. If it could take the power out of it, we might be able to get rid of it that way.
Yeah,
might
I'm pretty sure
start
they can go back.
Expelling the power. Oh, all right.
So, yes, if you wanted to gate in...
Servant.
and basically, so you wouldn't specifically be calling a servant of your deity. You'd call on your deity themselves, and they would have the option of sending a servant or an avatar.
Mm-hmm.
Basically up to them. Alright, so, Braxon, you head down to the lowest level on the Citadel and head into the chamber with the grey stone walls.
Yeah, he looks over his shoulder a few times as he steps over the bones.
I think some lizardmen have been down to begin cleaning it up because they'll be trying to figure out some use for a lot of that stuff down there, a lot of that space down there.
What's the general plan? Are we staying in Brawl Space? Are we flying straight into the flow into the Forge Space? After we've done stuff here, so to speak, how long are we staying in this sphere? Because I want to make the argument of staying in this sphere before we transfer it, because I want to read that book and
Well,
it gives
there
me
is
access to a new spell that I cannot memorize in the Phlogiston.
well, there is the argument of spending some time on Brawl to fix our ship, since it's still quite banged up.
It's 15 hull points.
Could we spend a week here? Because
15 hull points would require 2 weeks.
No, but we get half the repair done, and we do the rest on the
you
way.
do half of that instead, yeah.
I'm fine with spending that time.
So I think I need 6 days, 8 hours a day.
Yeah, because our other option would be that if we don't get all the hull repairs done on the way to Forge Space, we pay for repairs to be done there.
I think it's good idea to fix our ship as much as possible, since it's quite probable that we might encounter a fight during our trip.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't want to be constantly traveling with a ship that has holes in it. or cracks.
An easy target. That library looks so vulnerable with exposed bookshelves.
Oh yeah. If we get whole hold result, does it mean all the books fall out into wild space?
Depends where it hits.
Yeah, depends on where it is.
Yeah, when you get whole hold, you should decide whose cabin's got a hole in it and all their stuff starts falling
Oh,
over.
does Solas automatically make a system shock if the library gets attacked directly?
All right. Well, so Braxon, you
Critical to his faith.
you're taking a look over the Art of Furnace itself. There is a grate in the front of it where the green glow is coming out.
Uh-huh.
And that appears to be welded shut.
Right. Yeah, so Brax is basically having a look at it, seeing what sort of tools we might need to open it up.
And the whole structure is built into the wall.
Right. So it sort of appears like it some of it might be inside the wall.
Well, I should say that it's firmly attached in ways that it's not like just bolted down, you take the bolts out kind of thing.
Yeah.
Silly. Could lever cast there, not there on the grate? Would we know if spells would work on an art furnace?
She'd have to try it and find out.
Yeah.
Oh, well, let's try it. Want me to?
Probably
Well-
best to do that on the when you decide to actually
Yeah.
take the
We're
thing
not
out
actually doing
as-
it yet.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
this is just Braxon down there taking a look at it alone.
Yeah, he's just having a look, see what sort of tools we might want to bring.
If you want to do that before, before we actually start messing with this, let's try this first. You could do that.
Yeah. And
Lafdul could have an ogre again.
next day after the ritual of destroying the trident, Solas will also go and try to study the artificers as much as possible.
Yeah, well, Braxton will tell you tell Solas what he's seen, and he'll say to he'll go to Ockar and say, have you got any of your stuff for repairing armor on the ship?
He would always have stuff, wouldn't he?
Yeah, well, there's banging things about, but we might need to do something to melt the door open or something. And we might even have to. We might even have to. We might
You
even
can
have
heat metal.
to. Yeah, well, we
Unnecessary.
might.
Oh,
we might.
hold on. Heat metal does not do anything other than make metal hot.
We-
Does not make it more malleable.
We
Would it
we
be
might.
easier?
To that point.
It is pretty explicit about that. All it does is make it very hot. It does not make it more malleable. It does not make it soft.
Okay, Braxton says,
Braxton.
I see a grill, and you can see a light coming through the grill, but we might actually have to destroy the artifurnace to get the item out.
Braxon, are you talking to the whole group or just to
Yeah.
Ockar?
Well, you can talk to the whole group.
Because then
he's gonna
Leva
talk to the
perks up
group
and
when-
she says, I have ways of getting through doors like that. That's so great.
Well, we can try that.
You're doing. I'm going to be casting an ogre if you tell me. Otherwise, you're kind of doing that on your own.
Yeah. I mean, definitely, because I don't know what happens if you try to cut a hole in an artifurnace, whether it blows up or whether it just goes inert, whether it breaks or what.
So
Getting
my suggestion would be come up with a couple different plans. As we'll try this first, and then if that doesn't work, we'll try this, and then if that doesn't work, then we'll start cutting it open, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or whatever you want to do.
Yeah, Brax's last ditch plan is going to be to try and lever the grill apart.
Hello, Val.
Hmm?
What if you made yourself really, 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 really small? Dimension door in, pick it up. Dimension door out.
Make myself really small.
Yeah, so you can fit inside the grate.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Could
Could you make yourself that small?
You're 9th level, your spells vary though, so you might need multiple castings to get the right size.
You cannot multiple cast reduce yourself.
No. She gets a variation. She's too big. She casts it
Oh,
again once
gotcha,
it
okay.
wears off.
Yeah, but could she still, even with the maximum level variation, could she still make herself so small that she could fit through the grate?
What about
You
polymorph
go to
self?
1/10.
Could Leva make herself this small with polymorph self?
If you made yourself into a small creature.
Yes.
Well, what was the gaps between the grill I called? Could you get a mouse between them, or
No.
right?
Wha-
So it's smaller than a mouse.
Yeah.
You'd have to be like the size of an ant or something.
You won't be picking up the item, man.
How big is the space behind the grate?
Not quite pinky width kind of thing. Like you couldn't even get your pinky finger in there.
Okay, and how
Yo.
big is the item that we should get across?
A bit bigger than it's about like Higamus fist sized.
So quite a bit bigger than Leva would be if she made herself small enough to get through the grate.
Actually, I wonder
But
what happens if I try.
would you reduce work on it? Well, I take it it's a magical item and therefore item wouldn't work.
If you're holding it, it will work.
It's
No, item only works on
it's,
non-magical items.
it's artifact, so yes, it's a quite powerful magical item.
Well, you couldn't.
Reduce,
No, but if you're
so-
holding the item and you reduced yourself, everything you hold on to is reduced.
Yeah, but by the time I'm in there, I am already reduced. So I'll have to hold on to an item that's bigger than I am myself.
Alright.
Yeah, we have to either use the there not there to the grate and try to get the item that way, or we have to open the grate.
So how big are the holes in the grate?
Like I said, just not big enough to put your pinky finger in.
But
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out what's the maximum. How can I say the maximum small? How small would Leva need to be if she just dimensioned all through the grate?
I mean, if you were mouse-sized, gerbil-sized, or maybe even Tayan-sized, there might be enough space in there for that.
Doesn't one of you have a spell for unlocking things or opening things?
Yes, knock.
That's sealed.
Right. Yeah, but it's a grill. You could try casting that on the grill, see if the grill opens.
That won't open because it's welded. There is no opening. It's made permanent.
Do we know that it's welded? Did
Old said
Old tell us?
it was permanent.
Oh, okay. I missed that.
I think it's a while it is said that we have to use physical force to open the grate. I think that's the safest bet.
Mm-mm.
Probably.
Because if Leva makes herself, let's say, Tayan-sized and dimension doors into behind the grate, then she's just about big enough to take the item and dimension door back out.
But
Okay.
do we know that the item or artifact doesn't have any effect on you when you go there and try to cast spell?
Leva, you cast that spell that made that barrier disappear, didn't you?
Yes.
That's
Well,
a
can
spell that was also going to be suggested.
Yeah. If you cast that on the grate, then we see if anyone can put their hand through.
Yeah, we can do that.
Can I have multiple auguries, but for different effects? Different methods.
Not really.
Yeah, that's a case of one spell a day.
Sorry.
Other party members need to get augury.
So, well,
Well, Leva could cast Omen.
augury, even by other people, would basically give the same result. You like, for a group of people, you cannot cast multiple auguries and get different results.
No.
Period.
Augury for there, not there. Augury for dimensioning door in and out.
Right, but that's the thing is that...
Would it be the same?
Yes, it would. You cannot use augury in that way.
Alright.
It's basically like augury once per day, period, because otherwise it'll always give the same result, even if it's nonsensical.
Yeah.
Like-
Omen is
I s-
different.
Like,
but,
you know, you could cast an augury. You know, if we go down into this dungeon, what will happen to us? Great danger awaits. All right. If I eat my soup here right now, great danger awaits. You know, it's like it would just give you the same result. That's it. The point is that you can only cast it once.
what
I
do you say
mean,
about Omen? Because
Omen's
in
different, but I would say that you can only cast that once as well.
because here it says enables the Wujen to forecast the general fortune of some major undertaking and determines auspicious and inauspicious events. When the spell is cast, the Wujen calls upon spirits to grant him some sign regarding the proposed action.
Right, but I'm pretty sure it's also a situation where you can't cast it multiple times in quick succession because you're still always going to get the same omen.
That it doesn't say, but it says very clearly, first the DM should consider the proposed action
Yeah.
against information that only he knows.
Yeah, no, I get that, but I vaguely recall that like is an omen, and I'd have to go back and look at the spell. I think it says something about that you can only get it like once. You can only do it like once a week or something. But those are two different spells. Augury and Omen are two different spells. So yes, you can cast each of those for different actions on the same day. But if Lafdul cast Augury and then Solas cast Augury, they're going to give the same result.
I am thinking. I'm looking at a spell that Solas would have access to. Because I'm looking at
Hey, you've got-
divination. It's a 4th level divination spell that he has access to now. But I'm looking at the material components, but it doesn't say other than mundane things. It's sacrificial offering, incense, holy symbol. With an unusually important.
Do any of you? Sorry. Do any of you have a spell that makes things cold?
I mean, the reverse of heat metal, chill metal. But
Really?
again,
Nice.
it doesn't make
Yeah.
it cold enough to be brittle.
No. But my out of character knowledge is that people take train wheels off and on by heating up the outside bit and cooling down the inside bit, so they're no longer tight. So Braxon's wondering if we can make the grill colder. No, if we make the grill colder, it will contract and become loose.
Yeah,
Not if it's
contraction.
welded.
It would
Well,
have to basically break the
Already-
material that used to is
Yeah.
used to weld it.
He's already
Well,
said that it doesn't do that any without magic.
I mean,
Okay.
what's speaking against trying to just have the casting there, not there on the grill, and we blink and look away and look back
Yeah.
until one of us doesn't see the grill anymore, and then we try to get the thing out.
Yeah, I think we should go with that and then think another plan if that doesn't work.
Yeah, but if it doesn't work, then Lever can still go dimension door, or even take someone with, if necessary, or and then and there are other ways of trying to do this, but for the moment, I think they're not there is the easiest. Also, Lever always has they're not there memorized.
Okay. Do we want to try and put that deck of cards in there to see if it's an artifact?
No, I
They
don't.
usually tie to specific
Deities
no.
or powerful entities, those artifacts.
The furnace is tied to a particular
Are you sure? I didn't think we could confirm any of those rumors.
Alright.
I'm just thinking it might be a way to get rid of the cards,
I can just
because the cards would be powerless if they were trapped inside the arti-furnace.
Would it be?
I don't know. Well, has that item inside the arti-furnace done anything? What's it meant to
The,
do?
the problem is we don't know what the powers of that artifact is in any case.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out when we take it out.
Well, we would need to identify it to have any idea of the powers.
Oh, if only we had the knowledge of a certain clan that used to live here. That even made the furnace in the first place.
We can always just ask the high priest what the powers of the item is once we return it to him.
No, but I mean
Yes,
using
okay.
the skull to get the information of how it was made in the first place.
Okay, but look, let's assume they're not their spell works, and one of us sees the grill has gone. That person is going to be picking up the artifact to take it out. So they'll be touching it, and if it does anything, it'll be doing anything to them at that time.
Not necessarily, since the powers that artifact might have can vary quite a bit. It might activate on doing certain things, but be inert in other situations.
Yeah, maybe, but we won't know until we actually take it out, and it might do something straight away. I remember that cloak that didn't like Leather wearing it.
You mean the one that killed Leva?
Yeah.
Well, that was because it was only usable by evil.
Yeah. Well, none of us are dwarves.
Higamus says that since this is, his mission essentially, that he is the instigator of this whole thing. If anyone's going to be putting themselves in danger by handling it, it should be him.
Yeah, well...
Is his hand small enough that it could go through there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, not through the grate, but if you get the grate off, then yeah, it can fit in there.
I mean, the item
Then
was
let's go do that.
item was the size of Higimus' hands.
Well, okay. Well, how's this for a suggestion? If Lafdul sees that the grill is gone, he can use his ring to move the artifact.
I could try, I guess.
Okay. I mean, that's up to him.
I mean, when we're ready to try these things, it's fine.
Are you guys ready to try these things?
Yes.
Is this the same day or next day where we have these spells? Or...
It'll be the next day when you do it.
I mean, we won't do it.
Always memorized, so
we won't do it the day we are tired from the ritual.
And it'll give you time to. I mean, like you would probably want time to consider revising your spells and stuff like that. So
it's a shame people were piloting that thing, because I would have cast full capture now. All I would get is pictures of Braxon going, "Whoa, this is so cool!" Strong memories. Kind of ruins my spell.
Oh, go on, cast a spell. Just so. It might.
Lafdul's not having his mind polluted by your memories.
Oh, wow.
Might say something else.
Wow.
Might say something.
You've attacked poor Lafdul's faith so many times, he's just lost faith in your faith.
Oh, no, that's just not nice.
He's not said anything. This is just what he's thinking.
Well, he's thinking it out loud.
Is he?
That's passive-aggressive thinking, that is.
Let me just try that there, not there, and I'll cast my Grave before it happens. See what happens.
Okay. So, you guys ready to go try getting it out?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Is there anyone that doesn't want to come? Or does want to come?
Is there anyone not going? I'll take that as a no. Everyone is going then. Alright, so you as a group, make your way down to the 4th level in the below the citadel, and into the chamber that holds the artifurnace itself. It is still humming away.
Right.
There's tubes and things like that with that appear to have like liquids going through them, steam moving about. There's moving parts on this, and of course you see the welded grill in the front.
We should
Braxon's
let the
brought
others
some
know that
tools.
we are about to do this, because if there's shock or something going through the citadel, then they should be prepared.
Yeah, all right. You would have let Axis know then. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, Braxon's going to have bought some tools.
They've pulled the ships away from the citadel to be on the safe side. Okay. So how are you starting?
I will do my augury.
Okay.
For Leva to do there, not there, and pull out the. Is that too many questions? What would happen if she were to cast her spell there, not there, and pull out the artifact? That's my intent question, but I don't know if that's a two-folded question.
But the way we agreed, Levi is only going to cast there, not there, and in that case, Higgimus is pulling out the artifact, so you should raise the question accordingly.
What happens when there, not there is cast upon the artifice grate, and if Higgimus were to retrieve the artifact out?
The augury reveals that there should be no danger in this course of action. So, how are you going to act on the information?
We're acting on the information.
You're telling us that there's no danger, so Levi casts there, not there.
Okay.
She's going to have to be careful, otherwise half the room is going to disappear.
Just target the grate.
It's a 10-foot cube.
Wild Surge, entire artifice disappears into the astral plane.
So, Leva, high or low, please?
Low.
Wild Surge.
Okay. You see no change.
What about the others?
Who is looking? Who's next?
I'm looking.
I'm looking.
High or low, Lafdul?
Low.
All right. Lafdul, the entire artifurnace disappears. For you, you don't see the entire thing.
What?
Lafdul walks into the space where the artifurnace then walks out.
Which looks really weird to everyone else.
It's not that your spell. Oh god.
So the spell failed.
Not necessarily.
In
If we see the lot and he doesn't see anything, then it's been successful.
Yes, the spell itself has been successful, but the intent has not been successful.
I walk out before it reappears.
So yes, you would realize that that for the purposes of that spell, the grate was not a separate object.
What?
I think we just opened the grate by using crowbar or something like that.
I'm going to shrink myself down. How small do I get?
Higgimus hears crowbar and he's like, I got it. Lafdul, you can go, what, 70%?
Yeah.
Hang on. It's not this easy. Because you're going to go to it with a crowbar and it's not going to be there anymore.
I mean, they can wait until it's... the spell
I'm just
expires.
thinking, if I wait it out while I'm shrunk... Oh, actually, no. If my spell's not going to... My shrinking's not going to last that long.
Also, if you're even bit off, you would partly material.
Thing is, Some of you can see and compare me to the actual size of the furnace while I'm shrunk down. That's what I was thinking.
Yes.
Yeah,
Wow.
but you would have to be basically floating also.
Someone could
That's fine.
levitate me with my ring.
No, can Braxon see the arty furnace or not?
Well, hold on, Lafdul.
I'm not.
How
I'm
tall
not
are you?
doing it. Well, I was going to stop doing it. Yeah.
Well, I
full
understand, but
10.
you want to know how small you'd get, right?
Yeah,
So-
full 10, I think. 1 second. I believe I'm full 10. What the hell is my height?
How big is a wren?
Pretty small, isn't it?
Uh,
Height 4'11".
That's how small Leva can make herself, a wren.
All right, Lafdul, you'd be 1 foot 6 inches, so 1.5 feet.
I will make a note of that. Sorry, 1 foot 6
A
inches.
little bit less than 1 foot 6 inches. So yeah, it rounds to 1 foot 6 inches. 1.5 feet. A wren would be smaller than that. Hickamus is like, I can just use a crowbar.
Hey, Lafdul, I've got an idea. You can move things with that ring of yours.
If I can grasp it.
Right,
see
so have a look through the grill, if you can see the grill.
Yeah.
Can you
I
see?
cannot. Oh no, I can't. I just give him my ring of telekinesis.
Can you see?
I'm lending it to you, so you can do it.
How about just describe what your idea is, and then we'll go from who can see it and who can't.
Yeah. Okay, right. So if we can look through the grill, can Braxon see through the grill?
Just say what you want, what your idea is.
Okay.
And then we'll
so
figure out who can see it.
All right. His idea
See it that
is that if we can feed string through the grill and around this item, we can tie the item up with string, and then we can pull it towards the grill. And then if the grill disappears, hopefully the item won't disappear. If we have a lot of people pulling the string and pulling the item against the grill.
So you want to separate the grill and you want to separate the furnace and the item.
Well, technically, the artifact inside the
You're not going to
artifact-
get a crossover effect if that's what you're after. Because it's either real or it isn't. It's not an in-between for either one person or another.
Yeah.
You can't pull out an item if it's not there for you, but it is for someone else, because the grate's still there for that other person.
Yeah.
Well, Leva can see the grill.
Also, can you do something like tying a string around an item with the ring of telekinesis? Can it do such fine manipulation?
Do it with a rope, not a piece of string.
Well,
piece of string's too fine.
I mean, like, you could loop with the rope. I don't know that you could... And you could do a very basic tie, but not, like, a complex tie.
Yeah, not finesse.
Yeah.
I need 2 rings of telekinesis for that.
Has nobody a butterfly net?
Right, but the point, of course, is that, like, if Braxon sees it, Lafdul doesn't, and so together they take a piece of string and try to tie it up, Lafdul can't see it, so he can't actually get it tied, because he's tying nothing, so the string would just fall through. And since Braxon isn't doing any of the tying, he's just going to see the string not tie it up.
Yeah, well, I was wondering if the ring of telekinesis could do that through the holes in the grill.
Well, Lafdul, turn around and stay away for a minute and come back. Maybe you'll be able to see it then.
I mean, sure.
I mean, nothing prevents someone else trying it with the Lafdul's ring.
Yes.
Yeah, I've offered it up if someone else wants to try it.
Okay. All right, Braxon will put on Lafdul's ring if he's offering it to him,
Yeah.
and he's going to tug on the grill.
You break my ring. Like you break my lockpicks, I would not be happy with you.
Tug on the grill, like trying to pull the grill off,
Yeah, I try and open it, push it, pull it.
and nothing happens.
Your ring's not working, Lafdul.
I think
It's
the best.
welded on.
Yeah, you can
It
just.
doesn't have that much force. Well, I mean, it does, but not that much.
Braxon's convinced there's a way to get this grill to move.
Higimus says. Higimus just kind of like waves the
crowbar.
crowbar in front of your face with a grin.
I'll just crowbar it then, Higimus.
He's like, I mean, if you want it moved, I could do it.
Yeah, I'm just thinking we might be breaking the artifact.
Well, breaking the furnace by taking it out anyway.
It won't
so-
break the artifact since the artifact isn't in the
No,
grill.
sorry, we might be breaking the artifurnace.
The art furnace won't work without the artifact. They're going to be separated, so the points mute.
Also the grill most likely, while it's not designed to be taken off, isn't a necessary part of the artifurnace to work.
It was just taking advantage of it.
Okay, well, try and be gentle when you lever off the.
I don't think there is being gentle
Grill.
when it comes to Jimmy and a bloody treat.
There is no gentle in when it comes to Jiff and the crowbar.
I mean, I could start hacksawing, but it's going to dull my hacksaw blades.
All right, so Higimus takes the crowbar and seeing
Breaks
that.
the crowbar.
I'm sorry.
Breaks the crowbar.
Seeing
The
that there
crowbar's gonna
is
be weaker.
no there's no gaps. I mean, it's fully welded all across the side. He
Silly
jams
question,
one
huh?
end into the grates itself and begins levering. Yes.
There is no attempt for me to open locks on this, so to speak.
No.
Alright. I just want that clarified.
No, there's no lock.
This is basically bent bars
Yeah.
situation.
But sometimes it's like key secret switches or something. But
The only
Pretty
one of
sure
us
it's
who
welded
can
on.
bend bars, lift gates is Higimus, right?
I mean, everyone can try bend bars, lift gates.
Yeah,
And a
He
crowbar
gives it
gives
just a-
10% extra. Always.
I can always try the crowbar.
Well,
Well,
I mean,
Higimus already is.
yeah. And again, Higimus 10% extra takes him from 60 to 70. Other people,
good.
it might just be from 5 to 15, which
Mine
is
it
a
would be 10
huge,
to 20.
huge effect. But anyway,
Mine would
If
be like 10 to
If
20.
Higimus fails, Solas will do it.
Higimus,
Yeah, Leva is gonna volunteer too.
miracles can happen.
well, that said, when the strongest person fails, I generally say that no one who is weaker can try it. So you can go up the chain from the weakest person to the strongest, but you can't go down the chain.
So from Solas up to Higimus.
So
Well,
Higimus,
Leva is weaker, so she should go first.
oh, Solas is weaker than you.
He is?
Yeah.
He's got like a
Thank
7 or
you.
something.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Solas was never the one to lift weights.
You'd think reading all those books
Solas would get knocked over by a strong breeze.
we get gauntlets of like ogre power. Solas is going to be all up for them.
So you start Solas. Leva has strength 9. She's gonna beat you in
Wrestling.
this.
do we have a
But
ship's
yes, let's
arm
have the
wrestling
mage's
league?
arm wrestle. That sounds amusing.
What was that, Braxon?
Do we have a ship's arm wrestling league? I mean, how would we know who's weakest?
No. We already know who won. The arm wrestling champion of the ship is Higimus.
We did do an arm wrestling thing at one point. For an item, I think.
It's easy to know who is weakest and who is strongest based on how much they can generally carry around and look comfortable carrying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you put everything in a pouch. That's cheating.
So Higamus works at it. You can see him really, really straining. But finally, there is a loud tearing sound, and the grate rips off with one final heave from Higamus. And as that happens, the glow inside immediately begins to fade. All of the pipes and valves and tubes just instantly start to quiet down.
Oh, Higamus does what he does best, break things.
Higamus looks down and says, "Well, I can get my hand in. You guys ready?"
Mm-hmm.
Lava. You got your omen, don't you?
I'm sorry, I have what?
You got your omen ready, didn't you? I'd wait for it to power down before taking it out.
It powers down in like 30 seconds.
Alright, wait 30 seconds, then grab it.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Actually, should I try levitating it out with my ring?
Are you going to stop Higamus? He's getting ready to reach
Yeah,
in.
no. We'll levitate it out with my ring. If I can't levitate it out, you stick your hand in.
Alright.
I try grasping it with my ring.
Okay. And then tug?
Yeah.
It doesn't move.
Alright. All yours, Higamus.
Higamus
Finn
sticks
will-
his... yeah, Finn?
Finn will cast that choose future spell on Higamus before he tries to reach in.
Alright, is that like roll twice and pick the best?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Higamus sticks his hand in and goes, "Ah!" Just kidding.
Hang on. Let me stab you so you can really make a better perform check. Not the equivalent.
Yeah, he wasn't a great actor at that, but he was hoping that might have surprised one of you. But he does say, feels kind of stuck. Let me get it.
Don't break it.
And you hear a crushing, snapping, metallic ripping sound as Higamus gives one more yank and pulls out this large, fist-sized green crystal set in a small mithril setting. There are some bits of non-mithril metal hanging off of it that he just kind of like starts picking off and
fused.
brushes aside. It seems like it was really set in there well.
Is there any... do you
Well,
feel
it's
different at all with
craftsmanship.
it?
I don't know.
Do you see through walls now or anything?
Does the helm change?
Yeah, it's powered down.
The light has gone out of the hole in the front. And it's quieted down all the tubes with liquid. The liquid stopped moving. It stopped whirring. It's quiet. Yeah.
Maybe we should salvage this for spare parts. Where's the tinker now when we need one?
Maybe we should put something else in it and see if we can get it powered up again.
No, I already powered down the moment you broke the gate, so it's got nothing to do with the item inside. It's the fact that we broke it.
Did it power down the moment we broke the grill?
Yep. That's what I said.
Fair enough.
Oh wow, we got the Siri crystal. Good job, Higamus. That solves that issue.
Yeah, you might want to wrap that up in something.
I think I should hold on to it. Again, this is my...
Yeah, I'm not saying.
My quest.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying I think you might want to wrap it up in something rather than touch it.
Are we allowed to hold it just for a second?
I would
Yeah,
be
you can.
interested in studying.
Yeah. I just want to see if I can hold it. That's all. Do I feel anything when I hold it? That's all. Then I'm going to pass it back or pass it to someone else.
There is a sensation when you hold it.
Is it similar to the sapling that of Neuralis?
No, it's not.
No.
But there's
Because that was also an artifact.
there's a sensation that you haven't felt before, and you can't quite place how it makes you feel. But there is an extra sensation when you're holding it. You don't know what that means.
Solas would be interested in studying it.
I hand it to Solas. It's heavy.
It actually is not that heavy.
Oh, don't ruin my fun. It looked like a big
Well,
crystal.
I mean, once he holds it, he's expecting it to be heavy, but it's not that heavy.
Quite interesting.
So, Solus, again, you have this odd sensation. It's a feeling you can't quite place. You've never felt it before. You're not sure what it means.
Interesting. I want to study this more.
Finno, you try holding it.
All right.
It's passed around like a hot potato. Again,
Yeah.
same thing. You feel a sensation that you've never felt before.
Maybe we should get Broderick. She's a dwarf. Maybe it reacts differently to dwarves. This is a dwarven artifact. When we go back up towards the ship, I guess.
Maybe we
Enough
should
Try
all,
and
hold it too.
maybe we should all have a go with it.
Do you all want to hold it?
Braxon, when Braxon gets to go, he wants to sit down cross-legged, and he wants to close his eyes, and he wants to take the stone and say, "Hello, stone," in Dwarven. "Hello, stone, can you hear me?"
Does the stone respond?
You do not
try
get a noticeable response.
You should try identifying it. Probably fail, but
Unfortunately, Braxton didn't take the identify spell.
yes, because you're always the person I refer to whenever I mention that.
Of course, Braxon is the group Storm Mage. Of course, every spell is for
He has
Braxon.
goggles of identification. I think Braxton should just have them. He'd be looking for every piece of tact.
So nothing
Oh,
happens. You don't notice any reaction, any change. when you do
Yeah,
that,
Braxton's going to listen to it.
You don't hear anything.
Okay, he's going to sniff it.
Did we hear any
Smells-
legends or lore about this?
It smells very crystalline and metallic. No, I don't believe you were told anything about what its powers might be.
No, I mean by any of the doors. Were there any legends, anything whatsoever?
You would have had to have asked or been told, and
Alright, we need to ask the dwarves if they've heard of legends of the Siri crystal.
the dwarves you have with you would not know.
Braxton says, "I could try tasting it."
I mean,
Don't lick
weird.
it, Higamus says.
Lafdul, there is one dwarf that will most likely know that lives in Forge space.
Yeah.
That
I'm just
can
wondering if
answer
it,
most of our questions about the item.
Okay,
I don't
Braxton.
like artifacts of this power. They tend to do things to your head. Same with like Roger's hammer. That's
Well,
tried on.
Faradra's hammer is a sentient item.
Yeah, that Gion isn't an artifact. It just talks.
The power of the item is the equivalent of an artifact, I'd assume.
No.
I don't think so.
Mhm.
I think it's the,
Artifacts come from deities. Or equivalent.
So if I bind your soul into a book and you end up in some library of Ogma, you're not an artifact.
no.
No, I
From
would not be.
a strictly mechanical point of view, a player can never make an artifact unless the dungeon master decides that they can. It is literally impossible for you to do so unless I decide that as part of the current adventure campaign, it makes sense that this should happen. There absolutely are artifacts that were created by people, but again, they're not things that a player can just
Not
choose to do.
conventional.
It's always Deus Ex Machina kind of stuff.
I thought they were all things that were made in the ancient past when people had more
Ex
magical
Machina was
powers.
about conspiracy theories.
Well, they
It's-
didn't have restrictions on this.
No, that's Deus Ex the game.
It's I mean, they're not all old, no. Most of them are, yeah, but they're not all old.
Okay, Braxon's going to hand on the artifact to the next person who wants it.
Yeah, it got passed around. We need to see if Roger gets a different reaction because he's a dwarf.
Oh, Braxon's going to look inside the art furnace
Okay.
just in case what Ingemus took out isn't the artifact.
All right. Inside is just twisted metal where it was once connected to the back part of the chamber, the
Can we
little
actually
small chamber in the furnace itself.
search for any like magical knickknacks? Because when we found my ring regeneration, it was like floating in this thing. I'm just searching this area for things.
All right. You do not find anything else in this
Yeah.
chamber. It is empty except for the large structure that is now not operating with the chair attached.
Oh, we can take the chair.
Well, I mean, the chair is attached. It's all part and parcel of the same thing.
How nice is that chair? Braxton likes chairs.
It's a fairly
Ye-
normal,
ye-
boring
Aw.
chair.
I was going to say, you do not know the power of Braxton's compulsion to remove
It's not chairs that Braxton so much cares, it's the bed.
Right.
We checked underneath the chair.
That's true.
But it was
I-
also made
I-
entirely of metal.
I don't think we could use the chair from the art furnace as a
What type of metal?
spell jamming helm.
Steel.
I was going to say, if it was mithril, it would be worth something.
The whole thing is made up of, as far as you can tell, just steel, brass, and that sort of thing. Some
So the
copper lines, that sort of thing.
Clockwork
Nice.
Horror would have a field day in there.
Nom nom nom, is what they would say.
We haven't fought any of them in ages. I miss them.
Good. You should be glad that you haven't.
Yeah, but that was like the first encounter we ever had, wasn't it?
If you,
Oh, no.
well, I mean, it was the culmination of the first adventure, but, I mean, if you encounter them in a sphere, that is a bad sign for a sphere.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like locked off spheres where they do exist.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Rumor certainly says so. Rumor has it that they have destroyed a multitude of crystal spheres.
Yeah, hearsay. Alright, let's hand it off to Roger, then if nothing else happens, maybe identify it. If nothing else, he can missiles onto it.
Alright, well, Varadra didn't come down with you, so you hand it back
Oh,
to
no, we
Higmus
followed
and then
her.
go up and find her?
Yeah, see if I tell Higmus, see if Roger has a different reaction, because she's a dwarf.
Alright.
Dwarven artifact.
So, you as a group find Varadra. She's in the helm room of your craft, just conversing with Nor and Nemariel. And Higimus says, well, we got it out. Varadra, you want to take a look?
Apparently it's important to your people. Feels weird when we hold it.
Varadra reverently takes hold of it, and you see her kind of squeeze her eyes closed tightly, and then opens them and says, I don't think it's appropriate that I hold on to this. It is not of my faith. And she hands it back to Higimus.
Not of your faith. But it's part of your pantheon now.
Yes, but it is clearly sacred to Dumathoin. It is not sacred to Muamanduathal.
Yeah, but is it sacrilege for you to hold on to it?
No, not sacrilege. It's just inappropriate.
Yeah.
That should be going to one of his faithful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it is going to one of his faithful. That's how pointless adventure.
We've got some dwarves on our ship. Are any of them worshippers of Dumathoin.
It's fine to hold on to it until you return it. I'm just saying that it is inappropriate for me to do so.
We've got those smashed up shrines on the base. Have we got any artifacts of Dumathoin that we could surround this with? Like a holy symbol or something, to keep it company or something.
If we're holding on to it and you feel like it's inappropriate, that means no one should hold on to it.
Are you I mean, it might be inappropriate for you to hold on to it.
I'm not holding on to it. I don't want to hold on to it. I'm just
I
saying
don't
it's
mind holding
inappropriate.
on to it.
I
don't mind.
Higimus wraps it back up in a cloth and puts it in a pouch and says, "I'll hold on to it. It is, after all, my responsibility to return it."
Yeah,
It is.
well, I can speak Dwarven. Do we have any? Can we get any poems for Dumathoin or something?
I don't think you know really much of anything about Dumathoin.
Well, no, but we could like read something out to the stone.
You could, but I don't think you know anything of Dumathoin's faith that would be appropriate.
Oh, that's true. I just thought it might make it happy.
Well, I mean, it might, but if you don't know any of those things, it's kind of hard to do so.
We not got anything in our library.
I don't believe so.
Not that much about Dwarven religion.
What if we take a priest of Dumathoin over with us to Forge Space? They can go on a sacred mission.
Well, either we're going without.
I think it's okay for Higimus to hold it,
Yeah, either we're going straight to Forge Space.
since basically this quest was given to Higimus from High Priest of Dumathoin, so I would think that Dumathoin would be okay for Higimus to hold it.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, I suppose.
So I don't think there is any problems with that.
I'm just thinking those shrines we were in that had symbols of Dumathoin. We could show the stone to those symbols or something.
I mean,
You can do that if you
Yeah.
want, but I don't really see the point.
Well, it's the closest we've got to a religious thing of Dumathoin at the moment.
I mean, just because it's an artifact doesn't mean that it's a sentient item.
That's
Actually,
true.
I want to ask Joy something. If she was, we'll ask her what dwarven patron was your patron. What member of the Pantheon was her patron?
hold on a second. Let me take a look. I'm pretty sure I wrote that down.
She must be Marthamor Duin.
Not necessarily.
Well, I've got a browser tab open for it for some reason.
She tells you that she was a follower of Dumathoin.
She was a follower of Dumathoin.
Yep.
Can you touch a stone? Can you feel anything, Joey? Can you, when someone holds you or touches you, touch something? Like if you're placed on the table, can you feel the table? I'm just wondering if the Siri crystal was put next to you, if she could feel the connection, or is that connection lost once you became a hammer, so to speak?
So she switched to.
She doesn't have that kind of sensation anymore.
Has she switched to another deity?
She has not.
Well, then how comes it's not appropriate for her to touch it?
No, that's Faradra.
Faradra is a follower of Muamon Duathal.
Right, got ya.
But there's no requirement that the wielder of Joyun be a follower of Dumathor.
Yeah.
Higgmus has put it away in his pouch, and he says, well, it's probably best that we get prepared to set out tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Go to Brawl. You were talking about getting some repairs done. Get this back to the priests in Forge Space as soon as we can.
Yeah.
Unless there's any objections.
I wanted to spend a week here, ideally, but...
Well, we can do some repairs on the way, and we might...
I mean, we were talking about taking a week in the Brawl to repair a ship and destroy the deck of cards.
And I would have time to read my book that would allow me to have another spell that I cannot memorize in the Phlogiston. Because I do not have an altar. There's an altar? No. What is that? A shrine. The next one up. 10k one. I should be saving up for at some point.
I mean, at that point, you might as well just start saving up for the final level one.
Yeah, but that's... By the time I get to 5th level spells, I'm...
It's up to you.
It took me like a year to get to 3rd level.
Alright, so how long do you guys want to spend on Brawl?
Ideally, I wanted until I get my book.
Right, so Lafdul wants to spend 6 days.
6 days. Yes, 6 days.
No problems with that. We waited
Yeah, no
6 weeks
problems.
for Ockar to do his armor, so we can easily wait 6 days for Lafdul.
And there were armors that we have.
It was several months, I believe.
So
No,
that would get...
But we waited for you.
Right,
thing
but
is
that would get 6 hull points repaired on the ship. Do you want to wait longer to get more?
People,
How long until it's fully
Well,
fixed?
we can
repair
do...
the rest on the way.
Hang on, because we can repair 2 a week while we're travelling. And what's the travel time between where we are and Forge Space? It's the distance to the Crystal Sphere.
It's 2 weeks in the Phlogiston.
2 weeks in the
weeks.
Phlogiston, so 4 points in the Phlogiston if we don't mess it up. And we've got the time it takes us to get to the sphere and the time at the other end. So how long does it take roughly to the sphere wall?
About a week, and then about another week when you get to Forge Space.
Right. So 4 weeks, we can do 8 points on our own, and we could do repairs at the other end if we want to push off. So we don't have to do the repairs before we go. If there's other reasons. If there's other reasons.
There is the reason that Sakar needs to read the book.
I need uninterrupted 6 days.
Right. So if there's reasons for you to do that, we can.
There is the reason of trying to consult the temples about destroying that deck.
Which might take time.
Yeah.
Since it's not
Right.
really the case of just waltzing in
Okay.
a temple.
I thought it was longer
Okay.
in the Phlogiston, so I don't mind doing it in the Phlogiston. I thought it was like months. 2 weeks isn't so bad.
Okay, if you want to read the book on Brow, then I would suggest that
I'm reading in the ship. I'm staying on the ship.
But you
Stay
mean
for-
docked at Brow is what I mean.
yeah, if you want to read the book docked on Brow, then I suggest that everyone else takes up your duties for that week to stop you from being interrupted, and
That would be nice.
we get the other stuff out the way, and then head off when you're ready. And if we've got to investigate destroying this deck, we'll see whether we can destroy it on Brow. We don't really want to risk anyone on Brow. We've worked a lot. We've worked
And
really hard.
That's why I said we consult the temples.
We've hang on 1 second, please. We've worked really hard to build up our reputation. So yeah, if we can destroy it safely, then yeah.
I will say that you probably won't know if you can destroy it safely until you try to destroy it.
Yeah. And if it's really powerful, then I mean it might try and do everything it does with every card if we try and destroy it.
All the cards' magic will just randomly be unleashed on whoever's nearby.
Yeah. Which will be fun.
Hence, we are going to talk with the
That's
Templars
why
and prepare.
Rather than destroy it, what about just banishing it? Give it to a deity. I could attempt to gate in my deity and just hand it to him. And if he wants it.
If that,
I would also have to do the research on the spell. Or I could give the scroll to Solas and he could do the research to Ockar.
Right. Well, if you're going to do that, you can't be reading that book at the same time, but you can read the book in the
But it
first.
is an appropriate method of dealing with the cards if this is significant enough to warrant using it. The worst case scenario of failing to get that gate spell, we would just have to fight a demon or something, probably.
Do you want to deal with the cards first?
No. Quite. Well, just ask around the temples for now. I'll read my book.
Yeah.
All right, so you need 6 days. So we spend 6 days trying to see whether we're going to have any problems. We won't be able to do that Augury thing because you do that.
I mean, Solas at some point will eventually be able to invest in some dice, and I think Finnel'ar can do that, can he? Eventually, once he gets the dice, because he's got minor access to divination.
Probably not within 6 days.
There's an argument you need to get them commissioned, so it's kind of fluff. Money hasn't been distributed out, but you kind of need to make an order because it took me a long time to get my dice. If people want to do that.
Yeah, I will say that if you want to get those commissioned, it would be a good time to do this, and then you could pick them up when you come back from Forge Space. That goes for anyone who wants to get the components for Augury done.
It did cost me $1,000 to get mine.
Yeah, that's how much they cost.
Yeah, it's listed as costing $1,000. But Solas is going to be basically going around consulting the temples that have he knows that have a high level priest.
Should I take money off my thieves, do you think? Because I don't really have a running total for that. I assume being here 6 days costs something. I don't know what it would cost.
Well, we haven't gotten to Brawl yet. We haven't left the Citadel. There was still a discussion as to whether that was actually going to happen. Going to happen.
Well, I thought we were going to go to Brawl to talk to High Priest or something about these cards.
Yeah. Investigate that while I'm reading the book.
Yeah. I think we should start by Brawl.
All right.
Before we head off, Braxon's going to ask Radra about Dumathoin's symbols. What's the holy symbol look like?
Well, his standard symbol tends to be a mountain with a gem set in the center.
So we have a gem. Maybe we can get a little mountain made.
Oh, Higamus.
She kind of looks at you like, what for?
Just to make it feel at home.
Yeah, I was just thinking just get a nice box. Make it presentable. Maybe get bonus points.
We don't have any indication that the item is sentient.
No. Just
it might help make Dumathoin happy about the item.
I think Dumathoin is happy when it's returned.
As long as, one would assume a deity could read the intentions of mortals. As long as our intentions are to return it, then he'll be complacent. Well, not complacent, complicit.
Yeah, but deities are not all knowing.
Yeah.
Alright, so, you guys get a night's rest before setting off towards Brawl?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Alright, that night, hold on a second, I need to double check something.
We get a random encounter.
people will draw cards.
I am specifically staying away from those cards. I'm really staying away from them.
Yeah, Solas is also resisting any urge to draw cards that might happen.
No, he's kind of cluing into the effect that it's had on him now. That it's put a curse on him as far as he's concerned. He's also going to be asking Arvin to see if he can ask for a favor to remove it if it's within his power.
Yeah, Braxton's gonna pray to Ptah
Right.
in front of his shrine.
So that night, Finn, you meet with the dwarves of the hammership Hardhammer. They're still repairing their vessel. And the Captain Keloth Gravelrun, he greets you warmly and says, "Ah, my friend, I've definitely gotten the impression that over these past few months that you're getting some itchy feet, and I can tell that you see this as an opportunity to move on and see other new things. Would I be right?"
I believe you are correct, Captain.
Well, no need to worry about us if that's on your mind. We still have our other helmsmen. They'll be able to get us to some dwarves where we can get a good replacement for you. But I do hope that you find some new adventure, find some new friends, and enjoy yourselves with these new companions that you're making.
It has been an honor to serve under you, Captain.
And it's been an honor to have you with us. You've been quite a refreshing viewpoint, one that we often would not have taken into account and wouldn't have known about if you weren't there. And we will miss you. It's been a pleasure, sir, having you on board my ship.
I will hand him a gift of selected herbs from my cooking spices.
You have been paying attention to what I like. I really do appreciate it. You can see a little, his eyes are kind of glistening a little bit. And he clasps your hand and says, "Good luck to you on your journeys. May the Mornden Saman look after you, and your god too, of course."
And luck to you and the crew as well, Captain.
Go with my blessing. And you spend some more time with the other crew members that you've made friends with, and share stories of past the past months and years with the crew. Late into the night before returning to your new cabin on the Dolphin, the Blade, and get a good night's sleep. And on the next morning, you guys get everything set up to go. Axis thanks you for all that you've done for her people, and she says that she and her people will be looking after the area in return as sort of additional payment for all that you've done, helping them get rid of the followers of the heretic, as she says.
Is there any sign of the rock hoppers before we go?
No, you haven't seen them.
They're off. Okay.
But they travel beyond just these couple asteroids. There are some others that are a little bit farther off that would take them about a week to get to from where you are, and they tend to move quite a bit.
Yeah, they're basically nomads, aren't they?
Yeah. And with that, you guys set off to Brawl. The trip is uneventful, and when you get there, you do have to pay the docking fee, which is 50 GP, 4 silver pieces. And we will take our break. When we come back, we'll handle some stuff on Brawl. I assume that you're going to also want to sell some of the gems and jewelry that you picked up.
Yeah, I think that would be prudent.
Okay.
Yeah, Laughter's gonna hold on to some things as his cuts into as he just wants jewelry instead of gold.
All right. Well, you'll need to figure out what those are,
Yeah.
and then we'll handle that after the session.
Yeah.
Then. That's probably best. You go through the gems and jewelry and see what you decide that you want to keep.
Is anyone else doing the docking fees, or am I doing it? Oh, looks like someone's doing it.
I don't know, but we'll be back in about 10 minutes or so. So go ahead and get yourselves a snack or something like that. See you shortly, everyone.